you're here today to prove to them that you are indeed his son and finally have a family.
Yes, Your Honor.
Imagine growing up in foster care for 14 years, never knowing your father, and then suddenly being told your dad was a man who died before you could ever meet him. That's the heartbreaking story of Mr. Hoyer, who comes to court today to prove he is the son of the late James Horn. But here's the twist. Mr. Horn's family isn't buying it. In fact, they claim he never had kids at all.
After 14 years of being in foster care, you desperately searched for your father. Sadly, that search ended when you learned that your alleged father, Mr. James Horn.
Right from the start, Mr. Hoyer gets emotional, telling Judge Lauren that life without a father was like hell. He never learned basic things like shaving or tying a tie. I mean, just look at his face. You can feel the pain of missing out on those father-son moments. And then he drops the bomb. His mother used to be a stripper and admitted she wasn't sure who his father was. Talk about a rough start.
Ms. Porter, you and your mother, Ms. Horn, who's joining us from her hometown, are adamant that Mr. Hoyer is not biologically part of your family.
Things take a turn when Mr. Hoyer recalls being told by his mom's boyfriend on his 23rd birthday that his father was James Horn. Imagine the shock, finding out the biggest secret of your life on your birthday. He even brings in a photo of James Horn, pointing out the smile, forehead, and eyebrows that he swears he inherited. Cue the comparisons, folks. Do you see the resemblance?
I don't know who my father is because my mom used to be a stripper. I feel that if I did know my biological father, my life would have been totally different.
And so you were told that Mr. Horn was...
But here's where the drama kicks up. Mr. Horn's sister, Ms. Porter, shuts it all down. She says her brother never mentioned any children, not once. In fact, she claims he declared on his deathbed that he had no kids. Talk about icy. You can almost hear the courtroom gasp.
Myself through the smile and through the forehead and the eyebrows.
Ms. Porter, all of this time, these years before your brother passed, he never mentioned having a child.
Mr. Hoyer doesn't give up though. He describes meeting his alleged uncle for the first time, and the uncle actually said, "Let me see your hands." And get this, they compared fingers. The uncle swore Mr. Hoyer had the Horn hands. Folks, we've heard of DNA, but now we're doing paternity tests by palm reading?
He is your father, and you went searching for his family.
Yes, Your Honor.
How did you find his family?
My older brother lives next door.
When Ms. Horn, James Horn's mother, is asked if she thought Hoyer could be her grandson, she flat out says no. Why? Because her son told her before he died that he had no kids. You could cut the tension with a knife here. The pain on Mr. Hoyer's face versus the certainty in hers. Whose truth are we going to believe?
But there was others in the household that was like, "You don't look like my brother."
Okay, so Ms. Horn, when this young man walks into your home and says he thinks he's your grandson, what were you thinking?
Then comes Ms. Gentry, Hoyer's mother, and she's got her own secrets. She admits her parents never accepted biracial relationships, so she kept her romance with James Horn hidden. Secret love, forbidden romance, it's giving soap opera vibes. She even admits she didn't know she was pregnant until 6 months in. Messy doesn't even begin to cover it.
Why is it they know nothing about you or your son?
My parents, they never accepted biracial relationship, never. So we kept it a secret.
But hold up, just when you think things are clear, Ms. Gentry reveals she was also intimate with another man before James Horn. And yes, she told her son about this mystery man too. The look on Mr. Hoyer's face is priceless, betrayal mixed with disbelief. Can someone pass the tissues, please?
Did you ever have any idea your son was in a serious relationship?
No, ma'am. I never heard her say that.
Never.
So I guess your secret was safe because they have no idea.
Ms. Porter doubles down, saying she never once heard of her brother dating Ms. Gentry or planning marriage. Meanwhile, Ms. Horn looks stunned, saying she never knew about any serious relationship. This courtroom feels like two completely different realities colliding.
Saying is you were open and honest with your son that you had also been intimate with another man before Mr. Horn.
Yes, yes. Me and my sons talked about this.
So
At this point, Judge Lauren digs into the secrecy. Was James Horn really in love with Ms. Gentry, or was this all one big misunderstanding? Ms. Gentry swears they plan to marry, but James's family acts like they never even met her. You could cut the awkward silence in that courtroom with a knife.
This young lady came and knocked at my mother's door. She says, "I have your brother's child." I'm like, "That's not my brother's child. Get out of here."
Fast forward, and Mr. Hoyer is clinging to hope. He believes his life could change today if DNA proves James Horn is his dad. Meanwhile, Ms. Porter is basically sitting there ready to say, "Told you so." The emotional stakes could not be higher.
I remember being shunned away with my baby.
So wait, you admit you weren't certain that it
No,
was
I
his
was
child?
not. I was not
so
certain.
what made you march over to their door and say that he was?
And here it is. Cue the drum roll. Judge Lake is ready to reveal the DNA results. The wait is finally over. This is what we have all been waiting for. Who is the father of the child? I guess the DNA results is about to give us that answer. I hope you guys are ready.
As it pertains to the likelihood of whether Mr. James Horn is your biological father, the DNA test results have determined.
The emotional release here is overwhelming. Years of foster care, rejection, and secrecy, all crashing down into one powerful truth. Just look at Hoyer's face. Relief, joy, pain. It's all there. Drama overload, folks.
That Mr. Horn is not likely your biological father.
Imagine growing up as a daddy's girl, only for your entire world to shatter on your 14th birthday. That's exactly what happened to Ms. Jacobs. She adored her father, Mr. Walker, until he suddenly walked out after overhearing a devastating secret at her birthday party. Today, in paternity court, she's demanding answers. Was Mr. Walker really her biological father, or did one painful conversation change everything forever?
Ms. Jacobs, you claim that your world was shattered just after your 14th birthday when your dad suddenly.
Right from the start, Mr. Walker explains the shocking moment. At what should have been a joyful 4th of July and birthday celebration, he overheard his ex-wife drunkenly admit she wasn't sure if the kids were even his. Talk about dropping a bombshell at the worst possible time. You can feel the heartbreak in his voice as he recalls confronting her right then and there.
Mr. Walker, you claim you'd always believed Ms. Jacobs was your biological daughter. Then on her 14th birthday.
And what did Mr. Walker do? He walked away, furious, betrayed, and devastated. Ms. Jacobs, however, had no clue what was going on. All she saw was her dad storming out of her party, leaving her confused and heartbroken. That moment changed everything for her, leading her straight into foster care.
And what did you say? What did you do next?
I asked her, I said, why? Why would you do it now?
Now, here's where it gets even more emotional. Ms. Jacobs reads a letter she wrote to her father at just 14 years old. She poured her heart out, wishing he'd never left, calling him her hero, and begging to know why he abandoned her. Folks, just listen to that raw pain. She was just a child, craving her father's love.
When I was in foster care, my father had left, and we were in Florida at the time. He ended up moving to Ohio. I was a big daddy's girl growing up, so I started to feel abandoned, like he just ran off and left me.
Judge Lake asks if she even knew why he left. Ms. Jacobs admits she had no idea until years later, when she was 16. And in a heartbreaking twist, she reveals she even got pregnant at 16, on purpose, just to emancipate herself and build a family of her own. Can someone please pass the tissues?
Why did you ever leave me? Why did you abandon us? Abandon me, of all people. I did want this to all be a dream, but it's not.
Mr. Walker, meanwhile, insists he never wanted to abandon his daughter. He says after putting her mother out, the kids went into foster care because of his trucking job. But the tension grows when he admits he had already suspected infidelity long before that birthday party. He claims family members would tell him they'd hear strange noises in his home when he wasn't around.
The foster care, she went to foster care because I had a job, and when I threw her mother out because of all that coming out at her birthday party.
And yes, it gets messier. Mr. Walker recounts how he once caught his wife cheating. He tracked her down after she lied about visiting her mother, only to discover she was secretly seeing another man for months. His face says it all: hurt, betrayal, and disbelief. Talk about messy.
Well, and I called her a few hours later at her mother's house, and her mother answered the phone, and I said, is she there? And she's like, well, no, she ain't been here all day. I said, she's supposed to be at your house. And
the courtroom leans in as Mr. Walker describes the moment he drove to confront this mystery man. You could cut the tension with a knife. Every detail makes it clear. Mr. Walker was living in a storm of lies, all while trying to be a father.
He said, you know where he lives? I'm like, no, I don't know where he lives. So he said, well, I'll give it to you. He wrote the address down. I said, I don't even know how to get there. And he said, I'll give you directions. I went down, and when I got to the house, I knocked on the door.
Back to Ms. Jacobs. She recalls how all of this chaos left her and her siblings stuck in foster care. She describes the trauma of losing both parents in different ways. One mother thrown out, one father gone, and her world in shambles. Just look at her face. Pure heartbreak.
She still wanted to fight about it. And I told her, I said, what were you even doing down there? And then I confronted her about the Walmart thing from her friend saying that they've been in a relationship ever since she started working there.
Mr. Walker doubles down, insisting he always believed Ms. Jacobs was his daughter until that fateful day. He describes overhearing his ex-wife say she didn't know if the kids were his. That was the breaking point for him. Imagine standing there blindsided at your child's birthday party. That pain is hard to even fathom.
That Mr. Walker may not be your biological father.
Yes. When I was 16, I told my mother that I didn't want to be around anymore.
Ms. Jacobs, however, doesn't see it that way. To her, it looks like her father just abandoned her. She explains how she waited years for answers, only to be left with silence. That feeling of rejection never went away, and her voice cracks as she speaks. Heartbreaking stuff.
I went into the bathroom. I was like, Mom, what are you doing? She goes, I'm just getting a shower, go away. So I went into the living room. I was watching TV. I was watching cartoons. I'm a little 5-year-old. So,
The courtroom grows tense as Judge Lake pushes for clarity. Mr. Walker admits his deepest fear, that after 14 years of raising a little girl, she might not even be biologically his. Can anyone else feel the weight of that? His whole identity as a father hinged on that single drunken confession.
I came home, like I said, I drove truck for many years of my life, and I had come home to my daughter meeting me at the door. She said, Daddy, Daddy, you supposed to take a shower with Mommy?
Now comes the moment everyone's been waiting for. Judge Lake prepares to reveal the DNA results. The air in the courtroom is thick. You can almost hear the audience holding its breath. Ms. Jacobs looks anxious, her eyes darting toward her father, while Mr. Walker braces himself for the truth. Cue the drum roll.
Mr. Walker, you are Aisha's father.
Imagine walking into paternity court only to find out the man you thought was dead might actually be alive and could be your father. That's the roller coaster Ms. Casey is on today. For 25 years, her mom swore the man on her birth certificate, Otis Hawkins, was her dad. But here's the catch. Otis supposedly died decades ago. Now, another man, Mr. Edwards, steps forward claiming he's her real father. Buckle up.
Miss Casey, you say that for more than 25 years, your mother has told you that a deceased man who is listed on your birth certificate.
From the very start, Miss Casey makes it clear, growing up without a father was painful. She says it felt like walking down a dark hallway with no light at the end. Heartbreaking stuff. Meanwhile, her mom, Ms. Ewing, admits she didn't realize how much damage that caused. I mean, you can almost feel the tension between mother and daughter, like years of resentment packed into one courtroom moment.
What has it been like to spend your life without a father?
Actually, it's been hell, not knowing where I came from.
When Judge Lauren asks about Otis Hawkins, Ms. Ewing tells this wild story. Apparently, Otis was shot in the head by his brother and killed. Ms. Casey looks like she's heard this a million times, but still doesn't buy it. She even rolls her eyes when her mom says she just didn't know how to tell her. That's the kind of tension you could cut with a knife.
Ms. Ewing, what have you told Ms. Casey about Mr. Hawkins and your relationship?
I called his cousin to see did she want to spend time with Laconda.
Now here comes the twist. Mr. Edwards. He steps up and claims that while Ms. Ewing was with Hawkins, she was also with him. According to Edwards, they were still very much romantically involved at the time of conception. Oh boy, this is getting messy. Ms. Ewing is adamant he's not the father, but Edwards looks dead serious. His voice even cracks as he insists he's not losing this daughter.
And Miss Casey, when did you hear that Mr. Edwards could possibly be your father?
Mr. Edwards had inboxed me and we have spoke.
Edwards gets emotional, saying Ms. Casey looks exactly like his family, down to the hair, the smile, even the resemblance to his other daughter. Just look at his face when he says this. He's almost trembling. You can tell he's not here for drama. He genuinely believes this is his child. Meanwhile, Ms. Casey just looks skeptical, arms crossed, like she's not convinced one bit.
I don't even understand how I can tell. It's like the hair stands up on my back. She looks so much like my family. She's got...
Ms. Casey then admits something powerful. When she met Edwards, she didn't feel a fatherly bond. She describes it as a blank feeling. Wow. Can you imagine meeting the man who might be your dad and feeling nothing? It's clear she's torn between wanting answers and not wanting another disappointment. Talk about emotional whiplash.
I did not have a bond with him. Me and my older sister had a conversation about my mother, and she was like, well, what if he is your father since mother lied to us for so many years about different things?
Things heat up when Edwards starts apologizing for not being in her life. He actually tears up, saying, "We lost one, we're not losing another. It's raw, it's real, and it's heartbreaking." Ms. Casey is holding it together, but you can see in her eyes she's conflicted. Judge Lake looks like she's bracing for a storm because the truth is about to come out.
You've had Otis Hawkins on your birth certificate.
Yes, Your Honor. Eventually, when I got over the age of 18, me and my husband sat down and we did a research. I got on a social network and
The courtroom then dives into Ms. Casey's research into Otis Hawkins. She says she and her husband tracked him down online. And guess what? She found someone with his name alive and well in Mississippi. Cue the gasp! Ms. Ewing seems completely shocked by this revelation, and Judge Lauren is practically leaning over the bench in disbelief. Did this mom lie all these years?
so at that point, me being frustrated, holding everything in from being a child, I just blew up and let it go.
If you had the opportunity,
Edwards doesn't waste the opportunity. He doubles down. He says the similarities between Ms. Casey and his side of the family are undeniable. He even compares her to his other daughter, saying they could practically be twins. I mean, can someone bring out the family photo album already? The courtroom is buzzing with the possibility that mom might have been wrong this whole time.
you were an innocent child.
You was a child. You had nothing to do with it.
Miss Casey, all this time, you really have been torn.
Yes, ma'am. I don't believe any child in this world.
As the questioning continues, Ms. Casey's frustration becomes crystal clear. She points out that her siblings always knew who their fathers were, but she was left in the dark. That sting of abandonment is written all over her face. Honestly, it feels less like a courtroom and more like years of family secrets unraveling under the brightest spotlight possible.
That Otis Hawkins, the man you believe to be your father, was dead,
Yes, ma'am.
but he's alive. And we found him for you. You've been told.
Judge Lake sums it up perfectly. This case isn't just about science, it's about identity, betrayal, and truth. You can see the weight of it pressing on Ms. Casey. Her entire sense of self is on the line. Meanwhile, Edwards is almost whispering, begging to be recognized as her father. The emotional stakes couldn't be higher.
Oh my God, that is me. Oh, I got
That's
this picture.
you.
My sister lost it. I have this picture. This is the picture I had. My teddy bear, my best.
And here it is. Cue the drum roll. Judge Lake is ready to reveal the DNA results. The wait is finally over. This is what we have all been waiting for. Who is the father of the child? I guess the DNA results is about to give us that answer. I hope you guys are ready.
Versus Ewing, Edwards, Hawkins, pertaining to whether Mr. Edwards is the father of Ms. You are not.
Ms. Casey is stunned, tears filling her eyes. Edwards can barely hold back his emotions, whispering, "I told you so," through tears. The man who everyone thought might not even matter is actually her father. And Ms. Ewing, silent, almost frozen, realizing the truth she denied for decades just came crashing down in front of millions. Talk about the ultimate paternity court twist.
Mr. Edwards, you are not her father. In the case of
The courtroom lights blaze down on Ms. Lindsay, a firecracker of a grandmother who's not here to play games. She bursts into the room with her daughter Crystal by her side, demanding answers once and for all. Two men, Mr. Word and Mr. Jones, have danced in and out of her daughter's life, each possibly fathering little Austin. But Ms. Lindsay's had enough. Step up or get out, she warns, tired of being the one raising her grandson, while the men involved play emotional musical chairs.
you say you're sick and tired of two men whom you believe are using your grandson as an excuse to walk in and out of your daughter's life.
Enter Mr. Word, smooth-talking, confident, and trying to rewrite history. Ms. Lindsay says he was married when he started seeing Crystal. Mr. Word insists he was already divorced. Crystal admits the timeline's messy, but they were definitely a couple. Still, Ms. Lindsay believes he was controlling and manipulative, cutting off Crystal from her own family, isolating her. He denies it all, but the tension is thick. Nobody's backing down, and Judge Lauren is already bracing for a verbal brawl.
Ms. Lindsay, let me start with you. Why do you think Mr. Word is taking advantage of your daughter?
Because when he first met my daughter, he was married.
Things escalate quickly. Ms. Lindsay recounts how Crystal would vanish for weeks, stuck between two households, her mom's and Mr. Word's. The courtroom practically catches fire when Crystal confirms she was bouncing between homes, trying to make things work with Mr. Word. He says he noticed she was pregnant just by the way her body changed. I still love her, he says, eyes softening. But Ms. Lindsay's not impressed. Love means diapers, not just poetic declarations.
And then she'll go home to her house.
No, when they first got together, he manipulated her and told her.
The truth starts bubbling up. Crystal confesses she did sleep with someone else around the time she conceived. The courtroom freezes. Judge Lauren leans in. Why? She asks. Crystal explains their relationship was rocky, full of arguments and mistrust. When things got bad, she found comfort elsewhere. Ms. Lindsay is livid, not at her daughter, but at the idea that either of these men thinks they can come and go without consequence. This is about Austin, she reminds them all, loud and clear.
Get to go to the clinic with her.
No, we might have been in a relationship at the time, but she was not there when I realized she was pregnant. She came to my house.
Ms. Lindsay pleads for a definitive answer, not for drama's sake, but for health. What if he has diabetes? Heart disease? She says. She wants to know whose genetics are shaping her grandson's future. Mr. Word says they planned the pregnancy. Crystal agrees. They both wanted a child, but that only makes the uncertainty hurt more. Ms. Lindsay points out that Mr. Word signed the birth certificate, and that's when things get real. Names were changed, legacies were put on the line, all without clarity.
That point.
Yes, Your
So
Honor.
now the issue we have before us is you also had sex with another guy. Now, tell me what the circumstances were.
Ms. Lindsay reveals she told both men the truth before Austin was even born, that she laid it all out, the dates, the partners, the timeline. But Mr. Word still signed that birth certificate. Now he's backpedaling, saying he didn't know until after. The courtroom's patience is running thin. Crystal's caught in the crossfire, emotional and overwhelmed. But Judge Lauren isn't letting anyone off the hook today, not after 2 years of baby Austin being caught in the middle.
Hospitalization and doctors, and if he comes up with something wrong, I want to know.
Whose father is?
Diabetes. Does it run in his family?
Austin's been alive for nearly 2 years. And how many times has Mr. Word seen him? 30, he says. Ms. Lindsay scoffs. She says he's only given $30 for a Halloween costume, and that's it. Mr. Word deflects. It's Crystal's fault, he claims. She made it hard for him to be involved. Judge Lauren cuts through the noise. Is your doubt stopping you from being a father? He admits there's some, but says 95% of him believes Austin is his.
Of him signing the affidavit, that is why they changed my grandson's last name to Ward. And I want to find out so I can change it to Lindsay.
Because we agreed that even if it wasn't his child.
But we're not done yet. Judge Lauren calls in the other possible father, Mr. Jones. He appears remotely, calm, collected, and shockingly chill about the whole situation. He confirms he slept with Crystal, and that when she told him she was pregnant, she said it could be his or someone else's. His reaction? Didn't matter. He says Crystal's always been his crybaby, and he'll be around no matter what. The swagger is unmatched, but actions speak louder than charm.
The bottom line is you were informed that there could be another possible
yes, she
father.
was 100% honest.
And so you were living with this doubt.
Ms. Lindsay cuts in. What has he done for Austin? Mr. Jones stammers. Nothing, he admits. Not a dime. He wasn't around for the pregnancy, didn't show up at the hospital, didn't even offer a pack of wipes. He blames Crystal's mom, says she interfered. Ms. Lindsay snaps right back. He takes her money, leaves her with no food, and I'm the one left picking up the pieces. She tells a chilling story about Crystal calling her from a house with no food or drinks for her baby. That was Ms. Lindsay's final straw.
Your Honor, and I apologized, and I told her, I'm sorry, baby, I will do whatever I can to make up for it. That will never happen again. It was an accident, nothing done on purpose.
Crystal looks ashamed, caught between two men who haven't been there, and a mother who's doing everything. Ms. Lindsay makes it plain. Whoever the dad is, thank you for giving me my grandson, but don't expect me to carry both of your weight forever. She's ready to walk if they don't step up. Mr. Word tries to play hero. I hope he's mine, he says. My family will take care of him too. Ms. Lindsay rolls her eyes. She's heard it all before.
It's been almost 2 years since this child has been on this earth.
Yes, Your Honor.
I want to know directly from you, do you think part of the reason why you have not been as involved is because your doubt?
It's time. The DNA results are in. Judge Lauren reads them slowly, like she's defusing a bomb. Everyone leans in, breath held. You can tell that they are waiting to hear the results. Well, here they come. Hope you guys are ready.
Pertaining to whether Mr. Word or Mr. Jones is the father of 1-year-old Austin.
Judge Lauren ends with a moment of tough love. She tells Crystal it's time to grow a backbone. No more being walked on. No more letting men treat her like a doormat. You've got a beautiful boy now, she says. Set your standards. Protect yourself. The episode closes not with cheers, but with a heavy truth. It takes more than DNA to be a father, and sometimes the strongest person in the child's life isn't mom or dad, it's grandma, standing tall with fire in her eyes and love in her heart.
Or Mr. Jones is the father of 1-year-old Austin. Mr. Word, you are the father.